So then you got to work with him a few more times in Expendables 2 and Legendary. But a few years later, Dolph had another project in mind for you, which he was supposed to direct, and I believe that was Malevolence that came before Castle Falls.
Yes, but for whatever reason, it didn't happen. And then Castle Falls script came along, and he thought of me for that film, which was actually a bigger role in Castle Falls than the one in Malevolence. Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember saying to the producer, why don't I, for Malevolence, why don't I play the lead? Dolph direct it, and he can play the supporting part that he wants me to play. The producer was like, I'm not going to say that to Dolph Lundgren. I was like, well, you know, why not? And then it turned out that Castle Falls came along, and he had that idea anyway. So it kind of worked out.
Yeah, and I know that the script got revised a little bit. Do you remember your impression when you first got the script?
Castle Falls, yeah, it was a good script, well written by Andrew Now, a good writer, very descriptive. Could definitely see how it was going to work. It was good. It's a good script.
And by the way, had you seen any other movies that Dolph had directed before?
Yeah, I'd seen The Mechanic, Command Performance. Haven't seen Icarus. Is there another one he's directed?
There's The Defender was the first, and Missionary Man.
Right. No, I've seen The Mechanic, which I really enjoyed, and Command Performance.
So, what did you expect? Because you had worked with him as an actor. What did you have any expectations having him coming back behind the camera and working with you as an actor?
I was wondering what the dynamic would be. I've always got on well with Dolph, working with him in the past, but now he's going to be directing me. And it was a great experience. I really enjoyed it. It was just, I mean, it was stressful at times, not because of him, just because of the way the movie was shot, the location, the pandemic, losing a lot of money out of the budget because of the pandemic and all that sort of stuff, being shut down. Yeah, it was really, really difficult to shoot for everyone, mostly for him. And I really admired how much energy he had because, he does a fight scene with me. He got injured and he's directing, he's on his feet all day, every day, and he's acting as well. And it really takes a lot of effort to do all that. And I was really impressed with his work ethic and, just the amount of energy he had. And working with him was a great experience. We spent a lot of time talking about character and story points and the backstory of my character. And he really goes in depth as an actor to a degree that I think a lot of people would be quite shocked to hear. He probably talks about the character with me more than any other director I've ever worked with. So that just shows you how invested he is in that side of things, And the action, we didn't need to talk about it much because we've done so much of it. He knows. He trusted me to help direct the action sequences, to be honest, which I was very happy about because that's something that I've paid a lot of attention to in the past. And it gave him an opportunity to not worry so much about that and think about other areas of the direction. And of course, he was incredibly involved in it, but he could take a little bit of a backseat. Well, we could share the responsibility of the action sequences. And I appreciated that he trusted me to do that.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, it must have been really stressful for everybody, given that the film was shut down at the very beginning, and then it took months and months before you knew you could actually go back to shooting, and then the conditions with the pandemic. And I believe originally Tin Man was the fight coordinator, but he couldn't come back. Is that where you worked with him? I think remotely, and then on the set you handle the fights.
Tim couldn't come back, but he prevised the fights. So he'd already arranged a lot of the fights. Not all of them, I don't think. But anyway, things change when you get to the location, and the location is different to the gym, and you have to come up with different stuff. So, we just directed the fights ourselves. We had a good stuntman, Eric Linden, who was able to hold the camera, and that helped a lot because he can think like a stunt guy, and he knows when he needs to pan down to catch the kick and all the rest of it. A lot of the times you're working with operators that are really bad at filming fights. They don't get it, and it's a real struggle because then you've got to do the takes again and again and again because he keeps getting it wrong. We had a dodgy focus puller on this one. Probably shouldn't say that, but it's out of focus a few times. This is annoying.
Yeah, and coming back to the character, and I mean, I guess it's also like most directors would probably want you to only do the action and be a lead, but wouldn't care so much for you to work on your character. Um,
Depends on the
so,
director.
sorry.
Depends on the director.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but so
Yeah.
Dolph must really have trust in you to push you in that direction.
Well, yeah. Yeah. To be honest, I don't think Dolph has seen a lot of what I've done recently. I think he's seen my acting in Universal Soldier and, some of the films that I did with him, which were a while ago. I don't think he necessarily realized how much improvement I've made as an actor. And I think after Castle Falls, he probably will have seen that. But yeah, because he's not going around watching Scott Adkins movies, is he? He's a busy guy. He'll probably do the Ridley Scott films and give the Scott Adkins movies a miss. But yeah, I think, of course, he wants the drama and everything to be top notch. Especially that's the type of film he's into. He's into character
Yeah.
based action films. That's what he's into. So no surprises.
Yeah, and most people don't realize that. That's why I'm glad he's getting back to directing. Now, is that something you want to do in the future?
I'll do it. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
do it at some point. Time will tell. Just need the right project, and maybe I don't want to be starring in the first one that I direct. Maybe I can give myself a bit of a fighting chance because I'm tired doing my films because I put a lot into the action, obviously, and it does take its toll. So I'm tired this morning, I think, from the last action film a week later. But I'll do it. I've just got to find the right project. I've got some ideas.
yeah, I'm sure you do. So I haven't seen Castle Falls yet, and I'm looking for it when it comes out on Blu-ray. But what I saw was that the reviews are pretty good, and especially in terms of the building of the characters and then building the action. That's what I understand.
Yeah, well, that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to tell the story of these two guys that are in very difficult parts of their life for different reasons, but both on a trajectory to the same point and the same opportunity. And at first they're at odds with each other, of course, and then they're helping each other. And my character's given an opportunity to grow. And yeah, that's the type of story that he wanted to tell. I mean, we had like 17 days or something stupid like that
Yeah,
to shoot the movie,
that's
something
crazy.
crazy. Yeah, we should have had more, but then we lost days because of the pandemic.
Right.
So, the action it's more time consuming because you need to get the different shots, whereas the drama, you can just set up angles and run through a whole 5-minute scene, if you know what I mean. But yeah, that's always what he wanted to do, was tell a character-based action film.